All right, so let's get started. I want to talk about a tiny little space and a tiny little village. I'm not going to mention the name of the village because I want to be respectful to those who live there. I also want to think about their well-being because they're currently going through a rough time as it is, especially with respect to having their own privacy invaded, having their own lives disrupted, and really just living horribly, really. Here's what I mean. So, these people, these people are living in a tiny ass village, like a remote little village in the innermost inside of a fjord here in my country. And the sight is truly visible, the nature is gorgeous, the views are breathtaking and stunning. It's really, really beautiful. The landscape is amazing. It's something that you see on a postcard, really, especially if you're lucky during summertime. Here's the problem, though, that these people are facing. So, like I said, there are 200 people roughly living there all year around. Every summer, or every single tourist season that usually lasts from the beginning of May till, I don't know, mid-September or some such, 4 months, 4.5 months, give or take, they get swamped and ran down with tourists. And we're talking about swaths of tourists. We ain't talking about 10 or 15 people. No, we're talking about thousands of tourists. And here's the more extreme part. During the most busiest days during summertime, they can expect to receive as many as 15,000 tourists on a day. 15,000 tourists, and there are 200 people living there. It's crazy. That's 75 times the population every single day, or during the most busiest days. That's crazy. It's insane. And here's what's even worse. There is no proper infrastructure that's built for handling all of these tourists. I know because I've been at that place and I know my country well. My country wasn't built to take care of tourists because there didn't used to be like a specific tourist industry way back in the day. Now they're slowly built. The tourist industry is sort of like slowly growing, and it's especially racketed up after COVID, after people started, opening their eyes to my beautiful country's stunning landscape. I'm not making that up. It is truly beautiful. But there is no proper infrastructure to handle all the tourists. I'm going to give you real life examples of what I mean here by no proper infrastructure. So when you get to this village, there are docks, there are large docks to receive the big ass cruise ships. That's fine. But that's all. There's a grocery store, there's maybe a few benches to sit on, and that's it. Then there's a hotel, or a couple of hotels, and that's it. And then lots and lots of people live very close to these hotels. So when the tourists enter the village, they think that walking into somebody's private property is sort of like part of the exploration package. That, oh, this remote village is beautiful. We can just walk around into people's homes and on people's private properties and trespass, which they can't. Or excuse me, they're actually legally allowed to do that because by law, you actually are allowed to walk on somebody's private property, really, as long as you're not, quote unquote, disturbing them, which they of course are. Because people who live there full time, the common understanding is you don't walk on somebody else's property unless you're just traversing to walk, for a hike. But you don't walk into the garden of somebody. That's creepy. That's weird. You don't do that. But to these tourists, they don't understand that because it wasn't marketed to them that way. And because there is no proper infrastructure, because there is no proper route or proper lead to take the tourist stream from when they enter the village, when they arrive on the docks, to their hotel or to the place that they're staying or to the tourist spot. Then they spread out, they fan out, and they enter into people's private properties, which is just wrong. I'm sorry for the rant, but I'm getting a little bit emotional because I know precisely what that's like. Now, I'm from a place where fortunately this doesn't happen. But it's happening a little bit more now than what it used to be. And even I am getting pissed off now by seeing tourists. So I can only imagine what it's like for those who live in these tourist hotspots. And no, because I feel so much for those who live there, I'm not going to mention the name of this spot. But let me just put it like this. There are several spots like this all over my country. And you know whose fault this is, really? These are the greedy politicians that are running the township, the local township. They're the hotel CEOs and leaders and owners. And there are other people who are doing the tourist promotion agenda, right? All of these people know each other. They sit down, they talk, they interact, and they coordinate how they're going to make the most amount of money. And guess who they don't care about? Well, the people who actually live there. They don't care about those. So if you're living there and you want to go grocery shopping one day, you just can't because your way is blocked. There are people everywhere. You can't buy groceries. Maybe you can't even feed your family because there are tourists in the way. And that's a proper example of persuasion gone wrong. This is when people are thinking about promoting something and they don't think about the consequences of that certain promotion. And so, in closing, if you're promoting and if you're making money, make sure to do it legally and ethically, and so that everyone thrives. Because I can guarantee you that even the tourists who appear to this messed up place, even they will have had enough eventually. Think about that. And then they're going to tell everyone, don't go there because there's lots and lots of tourists there. Visit outside of the season. And then what's going to happen? The tourist season is going to get expanded to include even more months so that the poor population really can't live, in peace. That's it. Think about it when you're doing persuasion and take the many lessons away from this. If you want to learn more about persuasion, especially for business, then get subscribed to my email list. The link to do so is in the episode description wherever you're watching and or listening to this, and I'll see you there.